2 Samuel chapter 12, reading from Yah Scriptures. Then the Most High sent Nathan to David, and he came to him, and said to him, There were 2 men in one city, one rich and one poor. The rich one had flocks and herds, very many, but the poor one had only one little ewe lamb, which he had bought and kept alive. And it grew up with him, and with his children together. It ate of his own food and drank from his own cup, and lay in his bosom. And it was like a daughter to him. And a traveler came to the rich man, who refused to take from his own flock and from his own herd to prepare one for the wayfaring man who had come to him. He took the poor man's lamb and prepared it for the man who had come to him. The wrath of David burned greatly against this man, and he said to Nathan, As the Most High lives, the man who has done this is a son of death. Also, he has to repay fourfold for that lamb, because he did this deed because he had no compassion. Then Nathan said to David, You are the man. Thus says the Most High Elohim of Yasharel, I anointed you king over Yasharel, and I delivered you from the hand of Saul. I gave you your master's house and your master's wives into your bosom, and gave you the house of Yasharel and Yehuda, that's Israel and Judah. And if that were not enough, I also would have given you much more. Why have you despised the word of the Most High to do evil in his eyes? You have killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and his wife you took to be your wife. You have killed him with the sword of the children of Ammon, and now the sword does not turn aside from your house, because you have despised me, and have taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be your wife. Thus says Yahweh, See, I am raising up evil against you from your own house, and shall take your wives before your eyes, and give them to your neighbor, and he shall lie with wives and with your wives in the sight of this son. For you did it in secret, but I shall do this deed before all Yasharel and before the sun. David said to Nathan, I have sinned against the Most High. And Nathan said to David, Also the Most High has put away your sin, you shall not die. However, because by this deed you've greatly scorned Yahweh, the child also who is born to you shall certainly die. Nathan went to his house, and the Most High afflicted the child that Uriah's wife had bore to David, and he was sick. David sought Elohim for the child, but David fasted and went and spent all night lying on the ground. The elders of his house stood up over him to raise him up from the earth. He would not, though, and nor would he eat the food with them. And on the 7th day it came to be that the child died, and the servants of David were afraid to inform him that the child died. They said, Look, while the child is still alive, we spoke to him. He would not listen to our voice. How do we say to him that this child is dead? He may act terribly. David said that his servants were whispering. David saw that the servants were whispering. David perceived that the child was dead. David said to the servants, Is this child dead? They said, He is. David then rose up from the ground, washed and anointed himself, changed his garments, went into the house of the Most High, bowed himself, and came to his own house and asked. They put food before him, and he ate. And his servants said to him, What is this that you have done? You fasted and wept because of the living child, but when the child died, you rose up and ate food. And he said, While the child was alive, I fasted and wept, for I said, Who knows whether the Most High shows favor to me, and the child shall live? Now that he is dead, why should I fast? Am I able to bring him back again? I am going to him, but he does not return to me. David comforted Bathsheba, his wife, and went into her and laid with her, so she bore a son, and he called his name Shalomo. And the Most High loved him. Shalomo is Solomon. And sent by the hand of Nathan the Nabai, the prophet, and called his name Yedidiah, because of the Most High. And Joab fought against Rabbah of the children of Ammon and captured the royal city. And Joab sent messengers to David and said, I have fought against Rabbah, and I have captured the city's water supply. Now gather the rest of the people together and camp against the city, capture it. or else I'll capture the city, and it'll be called after my name." David gathered all the people and went to Rabbah and fought against it and captured it. He took their king's crown from his head, and its weight was a kikar of gold, which with precious stones, and it was on David's head. He brought out the spoil of the city, a very great amount. He brought out the people who were in it and put them to the saw and to sharp instruments of iron and axes of iron. He made them pass over to do the brickworks. And so he did with all of the cities of the children of Ammon. And David and all the people returned to Jerusalem. So I want to know more about something that stuck out to me is right here in verse 21 and 22. Or 21 through 23. About why there seems to be like a big message here that I haven't really studied out. I'm going to, but it seems like there's a message here on why he wept and fasted while the child was alive. You know, like instead of going and being with him while he could, he went away like and fasted and prayed but he wouldn't eat or anything. Like he was mourning already, and then he went and actually ate, and it almost seems like he did a lot better after the child passed, after news of him passing. So I think this is very interesting, and I will study this out. Let me know if you already know.